Before I knew your name, before I heard your voice, there was only one quiet afternoon, a street filled with people, and somehow out of everyone, my eyes found yours. You looked at me for only a moment, but something inside me stayed there long after you were gone. I didn't understand it then. Some meetings do not begin with words, they begin with destiny. Why did it feel like I had spent my whole life looking for someone I had never met? When our eyes first met, the world became strangely quiet, as if time itself stopped breathing just to remember that moment. I should have smiled, I should have walked away, but my heart had already chosen you long before my mind could understand why. For days I kept remembering your face, not perfectly, only pieces, the way the light fell across your eyes, the way you turned before disappearing into the crowd. I told myself it was nothing, just another stranger passing through my life. But if that were true, why did every street begin to feel empty without you? Sometimes the heart recognizes a future the mind cannot yet believe. When our eyes first met, I thought life was giving me a beginning. I never imagined it was also giving me the first page of the saddest story I would ever live. If I had known how much I would love you, maybe I would have looked away 1 second sooner, just to save the man I would become. People say you only meet once the love of your life. No one ever tells you. Sometimes that meeting is also the beginning of your greatest sorrow. When our eyes first met, neither of us knew what destiny had already written. We were only two strangers standing beneath the same evening sky, thinking life had just become more beautiful, never knowing it had also become more fragile. And even now, if I could return to that afternoon, I know Some stories don't begin with I love you. They begin with one look that changes everything. I saw you again across the street. I almost crossed but didn't. There were people everywhere, shoulders passing, voices rising, a city moving like it had somewhere to go. And still all I could see was you, standing there like the world had made space just to place you in front of me again. I told myself it meant nothing, but my heart was already listening. You were the stranger in the crowd, the face I should have forgotten, the moment that should have passed, but somehow stayed. I didn't know your name, didn't know your story, didn't know if destiny was being kind or cruel, but something in me had already begun, walking towards you before I moved at all. I remember how carefully you looked away, like you felt it too, but were afraid to give it a name. And maybe that was the first warning, not that we wanted each other, but that both of us knew this feeling would ask for more than life was willing to give. Some people arrive like an answer to a question you were never brave enough to ask. You were the stranger in the crowd, and I was a man trying not to believe in impossible things, but your eyes made every careful part of me forget how to protect itself. For one breath, for 1 second, for one dangerous hope, I let myself imagine a life that had you in it. If I had known how much this would cost, I wonder, would I have turned away? Or would I still have searched for you in every crowd until I found you again? You were the stranger in the crowd, but nothing in me treated you like a stranger. Not really, not even then. Maybe some souls recognize each other before the world gives them permission, and maybe that is why the beginning already felt like a goodbye. I wasn't ready to survive. I saw you again across the street, and somehow my life was no longer mine. I didn't know was you. Not yet, you were only a face I kept remembering for no reason. A quiet shadow moving through my thoughts when the day became still. I try to call it nothing, a passing moment, a trick of loneliness. But every time I close my eyes, your eyes were waiting there before sleep. Some people enter quietly, then change the silence after they leave. I didn't know it was you, the one my heart had been waiting for, without telling me. I didn't know one stranger could make the whole world feel unfinished. But after you, every street, every room, every evening light felt like a place where something was missing. I told myself I was being foolish, that a man my age should know better than to be haunted by one look. But there are things the heart understands long before pride can explain them away. And maybe that was the first time I realized loneliness was not the absence of someone. It was the shape you left behind before I even knew your name. Some names are learned late, but felt from the beginning. I didn't know it was you, the reason the air felt different, the reason my ordinary life suddenly looked too small. I didn't know that destiny could arrive so softly and still leave such a wound in the center of everything. If I had known it was you, would I have been braver, or would I have been more afraid? Because some love does not begin by opening your heart, it begins by warning you. You may never close it again. I didn't know it was you, but something in me already did. Something older than reason, something deeper than fear. And maybe that is why even before love had a name, it already hurt like losing something I had only just found. I didn't know it was you, but my heart recognized the sorrow before the love. It happened so quietly, no thunder, no warning, just one afternoon when you smiled. And somehow the noise of the city fell farther away People kept walking, cars kept passing. The world didn't stop, only mine did. For one impossible moment, everything began to revolve around you. How could one heartbeat change the rhythm of an entire life? The daytime stood still the moment you looked at me. I felt tomorrow change its direction without asking me. I should have kept walking like everyone else, but my soul had already chosen a road that would always lead back to you, even if it ended in heartbreak. After that day, nothing looked quite the same. The cafes, the old streets, the evening sky, they all carried a quiet piece of you. I started noticing little things I never cared about before. The color of the sunset, the wind before the rain. Because somehow everything beautiful reminded me of someone who wasn't mine. Yeah, maybe destiny never shouts, maybe it only whispers once. The daytime stood still, and I didn't realize life was asking me to choose between safety and love. I thought I'd found the happiest chapter of my life. I didn't know I was stepping into a story that would one day teach me how beautiful and how unbearable love could become. People say every love story has a beginning. No one tells you sometimes the beginning already carries the ending inside it. The daytime stood still, and so did the man I used to be. Because after you, nothing ever returned to ordinary. You became the measure of every beautiful thing I would ever see, and every beautiful thing after that would remind me that happiness can arrive looking exactly like heartbreak before either of them has a name. Time moved on, but a part of me never left that afternoon. The first time you told me your name, you probably thought it was just a simple introduction, just another word shared with a stranger. But somehow it settled somewhere inside me, where forgotten things never go. I whispered it on the way home, just to hear how it sounded inside my own heart. Some names do not leave after they're spoken. They become a place you keep returning to. Your name stayed with me Long after your voice was gone, it echoed through empty evenings like a song only my heart could hear. I never meant to carry you this deeply, but every time someone said your name, the whole world stopped for a second inside me. Days passed like they always do. The city remained exactly the same, but I didn't. Every familiar street began waiting for impossible chances. Every crowded corner made my heart wonder, what if you were here again? What if this time you smiled first? It frightened me how quickly hope had learned your name. Some memories do not need years, they only need one person. Your name stayed with me like rain trapped inside clouds, waiting for the right moment to fall. I kept pretending I was still the same man, but every heartbeat quietly admitted someone had already begun living inside my future without even knowing it. Maybe love doesn't begin with I love you. Maybe it begins the first time a name feels more like home than your own. Your name stayed with me before your hands, before your smile, before your love. It was the first promise my heart made without asking me. And now, looking back, I realized the saddest part was never falling in love. It was how naturally my soul believed it would never have to lose you. Your name still sounds like the beginning of everything. People called it coincidence, seeing you again at the little cafe near the old bridge, meeting you on streets neither of us usually walk, passing each other just as the sun was falling behind the rooftops. Maybe they were right, but my heart stopped believing in coincidence the second time you smiled. How many accidents does it take before destiny finally tells the truth? We kept meeting by chance until chance no longer made sense. Every goodbye quietly became a promise to see you again. I don't know who was guiding us, the stars, the wind, or something far older than either of us. But every road I followed somehow laughter already sounded like a memory I hadn't lived yet. Sometimes you looked at me like you wanted to say something, then looked away as if your heart had heard the same warning. Mine had love was getting closer, and so was something neither of us could name. The happiest moments often arrive, carrying the quiet shadow of goodbye. We kept meeting by chance while destiny was writing the future. Neither of us would choose. I thought the world was finally being kind. I didn't know it was only teaching me how beautiful a beginning could feel before becoming a wound. If I had missed just one train, one street, one afternoon, would our story have disappeared before it ever began? Or were we always gonna find each other, no matter how hard the world tried to keep us apart? We kept meeting by chance until I realized it wasn't chance at all. It was fate patiently leading two hearts toward each other, knowing one day it would also be the one to pull them apart. And still, if I could live that life again, I would walk every road that brought me back to you. Maybe it was never a coincidence. Maybe it was always you. There was a time before the late night calls, before waiting for your messages, before missing you. Had a name, we were only two people, finding reasons to stay a little longer. After every goodbye, talking about ordinary things, neither of us brave enough to mention the silence growing between us. Sometimes love begins long before anyone has the courage to say it. Before we called it love, my heart already knew. Your smile stayed with me longer than the rest of the day. I started looking for you without realizing it, finding excuses just to hear your voice one more time. And somehow everything beautiful already belonged to you. You laughed at something I don't even remember, but I remember the way your happiness made me smile without permission. That frightened me because I had lived long enough to know the deeper the joy, the deeper the goodbye waiting somewhere ahead. Still I kept walking closer to you. The hard because somehow I imagined you there before life ever gave us that chance. If someone had told me this happiness would someday become the deepest wound I had ever carried, I wonder, would I still have reached for your hand? Yes, without hesitation. Before we called it love, it was already too late to protect my heart. You had already become the quiet reason why tomorrow looked brighter than yesterday. And maybe that is the cruelest part of destiny. It lets you feel home long before it teaches you what it means to lose it. Before we called it love, my soul had already chosen you. I keep asking the same question every night. Would my heart still be whole if I never turned around that afternoon? Sometimes I tell myself I should have kept walking, never smiled, never stopped, never learned your name. But even now I know I wouldn't have listened to myself anyway. Some mistakes feel beautiful until the day they become your whole life. If only I had walked away, maybe these empty nights would belong to someone else. Maybe I would still believe the heart can survive without breaking, but then I would never know how it felt to finally find the person my soul had waited for. And somehow that hurts far more than losing you. People think regret means wishing love never happened. They don't understand. I don't regret loving you, I regret how little time the world allowed us to dream. Sometimes I still imagine a small apartment, your books next to mine, your laughter in another room, a life so ordinary it almost feels real. Then I open my eyes and everything is gone again. The cruelest dreams are not impossible, they are simply the ones that almost happened. If only I had walked away, I might have protected my heart from all these years of missing you. is the only thing I still regret. Not loving you longer. If only I had walked away, I would have lived a quieter life, a safer life, a life without this ache. But never a life that truly lives. So if destiny asks me again to choose between peace and you, I would still walk towards you, knowing you would one day become both the happiest memory and the deepest wound I would ever carry. If only, no, I would still choose you every time. It was a quiet night, nothing unusual. The city was breathing slowly. Streetlights painted your face in shades of gold. You were talking about tomorrow like it had already promised us forever. And I smiled because I wanted to believe you. But somewhere deep inside, a fear I couldn't explain began to grow. Why does the heart sometimes cry before anything has been lost? There was the night I knew loving you would change me forever. Not because you held my hand, but because for the first time I was afraid of losing someone who was still standing beside me. The happiest night of my life somehow became the first night I feared the ending. You leaned your head against my shoulder, and the whole world felt small enough to fit inside one heartbeat. You laughed at something I can't remember, but I remember looking at you, thinking if time could stop, let it stop here. Because happiness like this always felt too beautiful to stay. Perhaps love isn't born when two people meet. Perhaps it's born the first time one heart becomes afraid for another. That was the night I knew you were no longer someone I had met. of never meeting you. That was the night my heart quietly accepted a future it could never escape. Looking back, it's almost funny how everything changed because of one simple word, hello. No promises, no forever, no grand beginning, just two strangers smiling politely as if life hadn't already started writing something neither of us could escape. Who would believe a single moment could quietly become an entire lifetime? It all began with hello, a word too small for everything it would become. No one warned us that love sometimes arrives looking gentle while destiny is already breaking your heart. Somewhere far ahead, we only smiled, we only laughed, we never heard the silence waiting behind tomorrow. I still remember the way you looked at me without fear, without questions, without knowing that years later I would still return to that first meeting. Whenever life became too heavy, because before the tears, before the distance, before the impossible choices, there was only a quiet happiness, too innocent to suspect its own ending. Perhaps the beginning is always beautiful because it knows nothing about goodbye. It all began with hello, and before we ever held hands, my heart had already started building a future around your smile. I thought love was entering my life. I never imagined it was also teaching me how deeply a human heart could one day break. If I could return to that first hello, would I change anything? No, some miracles are worth every wound they leave behind. It all began with hello, and neither of us could see the long road waiting ahead, the promises, the tears, the nights, the impossible choices, the love that would become more beautiful than we deserved and more painful than we could survive. But tonight, as I remember where our story began, there is only one thing I want to tell you. Thank you for saying hello. Some love stories do not begin with forever. They begin with one word that quietly changes everything.